Hey guys, welcome back to Man's Videos, and finally I'm going to open this this box set of Ultramarines Primaris Inceptors. Another kind of medium large box because there's 3 figures inside, and all 3 figures come with flight display stands. Their jetpacks are different. Looks like they have armor behind their legs, but we'll find out once we get them open and set up. All right, let's do some adjustments here. Nice picture. We have our Primaris Inceptor Sergeant. No name printed on the box. And we got 3 pictures. Oh, these guys are bigger. I think it could be due to something on their legs or on their feet. They are 13.8 centimeters, so almost 14, versus our standard figures are 12 centimeters. Then our other figure. Last figure here. They look identical, so we'll figure that out once we get them unboxed. Let's start with, we'll save the sergeant for last. Just cut the tape on all 3. Comes the flying stand, comes sealed in a bag. Okay, so comes with this small piece. Be careful not to lose that. You get a textured base. It's a clear base. It is a rough and coarse 3D texture, so let you guys see that. Okay, that just goes there. We have 2 of these. Looks very heavy bolter. It looks like a heavy bolter of some sort. Not sure what all this extra stuff here is for. Nicely painted, standard weathering, and this is exactly the same. So it looks like we're gonna have 6 of these. Yep, all 6 of them look exactly the same, at least through the box art. Very unique. We get some sort of add-on that goes on top of their helmet. This is a soft, rubbery plastic or rubber type material. And then we get these flaps for the jetpack. Okay. One second. Okay, sorry, just readjust some of the lights and just get a better look. They do have a different style of helmet. There are hoses on the front there. I forgot I had a booth I could use. So I'm using the booth to see if it helps the camera focus. With some adjustments live. Okay, so there we go. We have, again, I was talking about different style of helmet with extra hoses. And the hip and leg joints feel just a little bit looser than I would like, but they still hold their position. First thing I notice when I'm looking at it, very weathered. We can clearly see that a lot of weathering was put on. That is nice. And again, that's just something I noticed with the early, sort of the first release of the figures. They put a lot more effort into detailing the weathering. I'm going to go down to the feet. As we talked about earlier, they do have they have a different leg that has these rocket boosters here. For extra jump, comes with this landing gear mechanism, which is removable. And the reason I know that's removable because when I was adjusting and getting the booth out, just by holding them by the legs, they actually came off. So it is 2 pegs on this side, and then 3 pieces. Just get it back on. Oh, did I put it wrong way? Yes, I did. There we go. Put those back on. Standard arms. Slightly tight. Okay. There we go. And you hear the just dual wielding hands. I think I still put it on the wrong way. Yeah, I totally put it on the wrong way. Okay. Put it on upside down, regardless. This is the right way. Good. Oh, it's really loose. It doesn't want to stay together. Not sure why it doesn't want to stay together. That could be one of those quality issues that we've previously seen. Alright, continuing, getting, let's see, just hand grenade. It's got a hose here, and I guess that hose attaches to the gun. You have a jump pack at the back. These don't have any articulation, and those just plug in. So what I'm going to do now is see if I can figure out the feet and have them assembled. Okay, gonna zoom out, and there it is. The figure itself is not highly posable. The articulation isn't great. For if you're putting realistic poses, it's going to be fine. It's just your choice of pose options are very limited. I managed to keep these in. Basically had to squeeze them together and really kind of stick them in there. Doesn't come with alternative hands, so you're stuck with holding both guns, but I guess that's the role. And when I played Tacticus, every guy I use always is dual wielding, and they jump around the map. The flaps, these 4 here, have no articulation other than if you want to twist them in or out. They, at least from the attempts I've tried, they don't fold up like my Blood Angel figure. So I will grab that guy a little bit later as a comparison. And these, oh, okay, these two. What you saw there was this just falling off. This is not a very good peg. I don't know, like this is that extra piece I got earlier. So I don't know if I'm supposed to use, which one I'm supposed to use. This is very shallow. And so that's probably why it popped out easily. And this is better. Yeah, this is better. So I don't know why they give you that piece, because this is a far more secure pose. Typical stand in the sense that you've got a screw and a nut that you just tighten. I don't know how well this will hold in its display over time. This is a figure that's quite weighty, as opposed to the durability of that nut and bolt. So I would imagine over time it could loosen up and he'll just kind of derp forward. As you see, it's a little bit wobbly, but he's just going to be sitting on top of a stand, so that's not a big deal. That rubber helmet thing, I have no idea how it's supposed to go. It doesn't really bring much value. It kind of puts the head in an awkward pose, makes it really tight. Actually, I'm just going to pause and Google it and see how that even is supposed to look. The box doesn't provide any images where it's using it, so I don't know what the purpose is. Okay, so I just Googled an image from Warhammer.com. It's supposed to close over the face and have a slit for their eyes, but this clearly doesn't have that. It doesn't exactly fit either. So, just going to show you guys here. The helmet is too wide, that these two pegs or these two silver joints don't fit in, as you would have thought. So, I don't know what that's about. Then I noticed that this actually came undone. While this one popped out, this one won't. And the last thing I want to do is break a peg off. So, not really sure what to do here. These are two pieces that I will actually just put back in the box and not use. Interestingly though, on the box image here, I look back, they did remove that hood, so it should be a removable option. Yeah, I will tinker around with it. Actually, I might just leave him for now, see if this comes off, this piece comes off easier on the other two figures. That might help me decide, just to change things up and give them a little bit different look each. Okay, so I did notice that there is a bit of stress mark on the peg, so that's it. I'm definitely not going to keep trying to remove it anymore. Articulation, I said, again, this thing does do a bit of a swivel, plus the ankle swivel. You're going to get your standard knee bends, but it will be slightly restricted due to this hose, so it pushes it down. I really like this bonus. It's a different look, right? Jetpack is different, and you do just have limited motion. These arms do come out slightly from the joint there. So that is it that you're going to get for articulation. And then again, with the jetpack, while I do see a seam there, it is not a seam that lets you roll this upwards. Nice detail inside. And then on our Blood Angel, it's a very different design. So you see the jetpacks are very different. You have an articulation point there. which allow you to move it up and down. And then the legs don't have those hoses at all. The stand is better too. I think it definitely gives it far greater height in its jump capacity. Okay, and we're back with the second figure. Nearly identical paint. This guy does have the purity seal on his armor, but at first glance, it looks exactly the same. Again, a very nice design. Oh. Seal fell right off. Great. So I will have to glue that back on. I guess it's there. Which, again, just questions the design thought, right? Like, you're putting it at a high part of contact. Let's see. Tight joints. Not a bad thing. Not overly tight, because those guns are big and heavy. This is actually on right pretty tight. Like, I'm not moving that at all. That looks like, this feels like it got glued in there. So I don't know why the box art shows it with it removed when this is like glued in there. Now, this does have that weird helmet visor. Not sure why you need a helmet visor over a helmet. So weird design choice. Have to look into that at Games Workshop. It doesn't fit under the helmet hood thing here. I am squishing it in there. Man, what? The whole head popped off out of the socket in my attempt to put this on. That's not going to be fun. That actually looks pretty stupid. Honestly, if you ask me, that looks pretty stupid. And hence, I will not be using it. Pretty stupid look, actually. Honestly, what's going on? Okay, moving on to the jump pack. It is identical with the exception of that logo there, or that icon there. And in his case, I'm gonna have him standing. See how well he stands on his own. Probably not, because of that the weight on the pack. But he can barely stand on his own. He can do it, but not great. So I just don't want to have all three of them jumping. I don't even have the space to put all three of them jumping, but I'll figure something out. And then at the end of the video, I will show you my top shelf with the Ultramarines and the Grey Knights all blended together. And let's get to the third guy. Okay, so here we have our Sergeant. And I love my Sergeant helmets being red. It's got totally different paint job with added decorations on the knees. The red skull for the Sergeant. More purity seals on his legs. And purity seal on his right arm. Again, nicely weathered. The legs are nice and tight. Joints are nice and tight. good there, and I'm going to twist that, and everything is exactly the same, just paint different. Paint application is different. Yeah, that is pretty attached. The sergeant helmet looks like this. Don't think it makes it look any better. Again, I don't want to stuff it in there, especially if this won't come off. It's a stupid look anyways, so popping that off. And jetpack, jump pack. That's what it looks like without the tabs on. I just snap that. And these just plug in there. Goes on. Okay, these holes just plug in. Hose just plugs in. Okay, now, while he does have a stand, I actually bought a Daiso stand to see if they fit, if they can hold the weight. There's a claw, which I'm pretty sure won't wrap around, but I'm not sure if that peg there will work. Oh my god, it does. Sweet. Cool. This is a malleable this stand makes it look like he can jump higher than the stock base. No, it doesn't. It's the same. That's too bad. I was hoping that the Daiso stand can make it look like he's jumping about the same height, but it doesn't. What I think it can do, though, can be used to help keep him standing on base. If we bend this, provide support enough to prevent him from falling backwards, then it's done its job. Wow. And I'll have to put him on the sergeant shelf on the display case. Alright, so they're not the greatest figures. They're great to look at. It's a very unique design. Not my favorite of my Warhammer figures. But again, to look good on a shelf, that's the key thing. Not playing with them at all. Alright, gonna be right back, and we'll find a space for them on the shelf, and we'll do a kind of walkthrough of my top shelf. Alright, here is my top row. With everyone blended in. I'm running out of real estate, so you guys can see the top and bottom of the shelf. Moving over to the right. Just got a tiny bit of space left, but I do have a few more Ultramarines to add on. And potentially 2 more Grey Knights from the Strike Squad to add on Black Friday. Or maybe if I can find them at a discounted price in Hong Kong when I'm on vacation, which is where they got me started on them. It's just so cool. I knew I shouldn't have bought the first one. Once I did, I knew this would happen. Gotta reposition that guy. He's just hidden behind the gun there. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not going to do the bottom shelf. The bottom shelf is actually still work in progress. I'm going to add a lot more figures to that. And when it's ready and set up, I will do a pan through as well. Again, as I was saying, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give the video a like. Love to get some comments from you as well. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. Help the channel grow. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.